Disappear. 6 months. No announcements, no explanations, no farewell posts, no dramatic exits. Just disappear. Delete the apps. Stop posting. Stop performing. Stop broadcasting your life to people who don't actually care about your transformation. Just vanish. And here's what will happen. They'll forget you. Not slowly, not gradually, but quickly. Shockingly quickly. The people who liked your posts, they'll scroll past where you used to be. The people who commented on your updates, they'll find someone else to engage with. The people you thought were your friends, they'll stop checking on you after week 2. This will hurt. This will feel like rejection. This will make you question whether you matter at all. But here's what they don't tell you. This forgetting is necessary. This disappearance is sacred. This death of your old identity is required for the birth of your new one. Because while they're forgetting you, you're remembering yourself. While they're moving on, you're moving forward. While they're consuming content, you're creating a new life. And then, after 6 months of silence, 6 months of work, 6 months of transformation nobody witnessed, you return. Different, unrecognizable, undeniable. And the same people who forgot you will whisper your name in disbelief. They'll ask what happened. They'll want to know your secret. They'll call it lucky or blessed or overnight success. But you'll know the truth. Transformation always happens in the dark. This is your invitation to disappear, to die, to be reborn. The Stoics understood something modern culture has forgotten. Silence is a weapon. Not silence as weakness, not silence as avoidance, but silence as strategic withdrawal, as intentional disappearance, as the refusal to broadcast before you've built. Seneca wrote extensively about this. He would retreat from Rome regularly, not because he hated people, but because he knew that constant social exposure was draining his philosophical development. He wrote, "We should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" This kind of self-examination requires solitude. You cannot do this work while performing for others. You cannot transform while seeking validation. You cannot become who you're meant to be while trying to maintain who everyone thinks you are. When you stop explaining yourself, you start evolving. Think about this. How much energy do you waste explaining your choices to people who don't care? How much time do you spend defending your decisions to people who will judge anyway? How much power do you give away by seeking approval for your transformation? The world celebrates loud beginnings, grand announcements, big declarations. This year, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm starting my business. I'm changing my life. And the world applauds for about 3 days. Then it forgets. And when you inevitably struggle, when the journey gets hard, when results don't come immediately, the same people who applauded are now watching for your failure. Because here's the truth. Most people don't actually want you to transform. Your growth threatens their stagnation. Your discipline exposes their excuses. Your silence reveals how much noise they're making without progress. So they need you to fail. Not consciously, not maliciously, but subconsciously your failure validates their lack of effort. This is why you disappear, not to prove anything to them, but to protect your transformation from their projection. The Stoics taught that the work is done in private, the results are revealed in public. You don't announce your plans, you execute them silently, then present the finished product. Every legend was once invisible. Einstein developed his theory of relativity while working as a patent clerk, unknown, unseen, unrecognized. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in cafes while broke, divorced, and forgotten by everyone who once knew her. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, disappeared into obscurity, rebuilt himself, and returned to create the most valuable company in history. The pattern is always the same: disappear, transform, return, dominate. You don't need applause to grow. You need discipline. You don't need followers. You need focus. You don't need an audience. You need action. 6 months of solitude can rebuild what years of distraction destroyed. So what does disappearing actually look like? Let me give you the practical blueprint. Month 1, the digital detox. Delete or heavily restrict social media. Not deactivate, delete. Remove the temptation completely. Turn off notifications, all of them. Your phone should be a tool you use intentionally, not a leash that pulls you constantly. Tell no one you're doing this. No farewell posts, no "I'm taking a break" announcements. Just stop. The people who need you will find other ways to reach you. This first month will feel brutal. You'll feel the phantom buzzing. You'll reach for your phone 100 times a day out of habit. You'll feel FOMO, fear of missing out. But here's what's actually happening. You're detoxing from dopamine addiction. You're withdrawing from the validation drug. You're remembering what it feels like to be present in your actual life instead of performing an online version of it. Push through. This month is purging the noise so you can hear your signal again. Month 2, the foundation. Now that the noise is gone, build your foundation. Establish the 3 pillars of transformation. Physical discipline. Exercise daily. Not because you need to look a certain way, but because physical discipline builds mental discipline. Every workout is training your will. Mental discipline. Read daily. Learn daily. Feed your mind with wisdom instead of content. 30 minutes minimum. Real books, not social media posts masquerading as knowledge. Spiritual discipline. Sit in silence daily. Meditate. Pray. Contemplate. Whatever your practice is. 10 minutes minimum. This is how you reconnect with yourself, with your purpose, with your center. These aren't optionals. These are non-negotiables. This is the architecture of your new life. Month 3, the skill development. By month 3, the foundation is solid. Now build the skill that will define your return. Maybe it's a business you're building. Maybe it's a craft you're mastering. Maybe it's a body you're sculpting. Maybe it's writing a book, creating art, developing expertise. Whatever it is, this is where you go deep, obsessively deep. 4 hours a day minimum, on your craft. Not distracted hours, not half-present hours, but deep work, flow state, complete immersion. This is the month people will call you obsessed if they knew what you were doing. Good. Obsession is required for mastery. Month 4, the breaking point. This is the hardest month because by month 4, the initial motivation has faded, the novelty has worn off. You're in the messy middle where results aren't dramatic yet, but the work is still hard. This is where most people quit. This is where they decide it's not working, it's taking too long, they should just go back to normal life. Don't quit. This is the furnace. This is where transformation happens. The diamond is being formed under pressure right now. Trust the process. Trust the work. Trust that every day compounds even when you can't see the results yet. Month 5, the emergence. This is where it clicks, where the compound effect becomes visible. Your body starts looking different, your skill starts feeling natural, your mind starts operating at a higher level. You look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself, not just physically, though that's changed, but the way you carry yourself, the confidence in your eyes, the groundedness in your presence. This is the month you realize the old you is dead. This isn't a temporary change, you've actually become someone else. Month 6. The preparation. The final month is about integration and preparation for your return. You're not rushing back, you're thoughtfully planning how you'll re-engage with the world, what boundaries you'll maintain, what you'll share, what you'll keep private. You're also cementing the habits that got you here so they continue after you return.
because the worst thing you can do is transform for 6 months, return, and then slide back into old patterns. Document your transformation, not for social media necessarily, but for yourself. Write down what you learned, who you were, who you became, how you did it. This is your blueprint, your proof, your testimony that disappearing works.
Now let me be honest about what this psychological journey actually feels like. Because the practical blueprint is one thing, but the internal experience is something else entirely. The loneliness. The first month will feel lonely, devastatingly lonely. Your phone will be quiet, your social calendar will be empty, your notifications will be silent. You'll realize how much of your social life was actually just digital noise, how many of your friends were really just mutual followers, how much of your community was actually just people consuming your content, not genuinely connected to you. This loneliness is painful, but it's also revealing. It's showing you who actually cares, who actually reaches out, who actually notices your absence. Most people won't, and that's okay. That's information. That's clarity you needed. The second month will feel confusing because without the external validation, without the likes and comments and social feedback, you'll question everything. Am I doing the right thing? Is this actually working? Should I just go back to normal? Your old identity will call you back. Your comfort zone will seduce you. Your ego will tell you this was a mistake. Don't listen. This confusion is necessary. You're in the cocoon. The caterpillar is dissolving. It doesn't feel like transformation yet. It feels like dissolution, like death. That's because it is death. Your old self is dying so your new self can be born. Trust the process. The quiet. The third month will feel quiet, but not the painful quiet of the first month. This is different. This is peace. This is the moment your nervous system recalibrates. This is when you stop craving the noise and start appreciating the silence. You'll notice you're sleeping better, thinking clearer, feeling more grounded. The constant anxiety of social media, the comparison, the performance, the judgment, it's gone. You'll begin hearing your real voice again. Not the voice that performs for others, not the voice that says what it thinks people want to hear, but your actual voice, your truth, your authentic self. The power. Month 4 through 6, you'll feel power emerging. Not ego power, not the need to prove yourself or dominate others, but deep, quiet, unshakable power. The power of knowing yourself completely, the power of being disciplined consistently, the power of building something real instead of performing something fake. You'll stop reacting to noise because you're no longer in the noise. You'll stop seeking validation because you've validated yourself through action. You'll stop comparing yourself because you're on your own path, in your own lane, at your own pace. This is soul-level transformation. This is what happens when you give yourself 6 months of silence to actually become who you're meant to be. And then you return. Not with fanfare, not with a grand announcement, but quietly, powerfully, undeniably. You post a photo, or you show up somewhere, or someone who knows you sees you and doesn't recognize you at first. And the whispers begin. Wait, what happened to them? Did you see how much they've changed? Where have they been? The same people who forgot you are now fascinated by you. The same people who stopped checking on you are now studying you. The same people who moved on without you are now asking how you did it. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to explain. Your body explains. Your presence explains. Your work explains. Your energy explains. You don't say, "I disappeared for 6 months and worked on myself." You don't post before and after photos with a long caption about your journey. You don't write threads about discipline and transformation. You simply exist in your new form. And that existence is loud enough. Your results speak louder than words ever could. Because every workout you did in silence, every book you read alone, every hour of deep work nobody witnessed, it's all visible now. Not in what you say, but in who you are. People will call it lucky. They'll say you must have good genetics or money or help. They'll attribute your transformation to anything except what it actually was. Consistent, disciplined, silent work over 6 months. Let them. Their misunderstanding of your process doesn't diminish your results. The ones who matter will understand. The ones who are serious about their own transformation will ask the real questions. The ones who are ready will follow your blueprint. And the rest, they'll keep scrolling, keep talking, keep making excuses, and eventually they'll watch someone else transform and call them lucky, too. So here's your challenge. Disappear for 6 months. No noise, no seeking, no performing. Just become. I'm not asking you to isolate completely. Keep your real relationships. Talk to your family. See your genuine friends. Maintain what matters. But remove the digital performance. Remove the need to broadcast. Remove the addiction to validation. Work quietly on your body, your mind, your skill, your business, your art, whatever matters to you. Heal deeply from whatever wounds you've been carrying. Process the trauma. Face the shadow. Do the internal work nobody can see. Build daily. 1 rep, 1 page, 1 hour, 1 choice. Compounding slowly, silently, powerfully. And when you come back in 6 months, the same people who forgot you will call you unstoppable. They won't understand how you changed so completely. They won't see the 1,000 invisible decisions. They won't know about the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the discipline. And that's fine. You don't need them to understand. You need them to witness. If you're ready to vanish and rebuild, if this message resonates with the warrior inside you, comment below, "I choose silence." And subscribe to Mind Armor, because this is where warriors of the mind are forged. This is where transformation happens in the dark. This is where the misunderstood become unstoppable. 6 months, that's all it takes. Disappear, transform, return. The world will forget you, and then it will never forget you again.